What are you doing? What are you saying? You don't understand, guys. You don't get it. We have to sell stolen land. That's right. Let's get back to the United States of America, baby. Here it is. Violence erupts as protesters block LA synagogue. Now, this is a really interesting story. This is a interesting story because, you know, this is the latest iteration of like domestic American politics, you know, any kind of criticism of Israel and anti-Semitic, that sort of shit. Now, here's what's really interesting about the story. Let's watch the Fox News coverage over it for a second, and let's see the violent pro-Hamas mob. Like, what were they doing?
Abhorrent violence breaking out over the weekend in Los Angeles after a group of anti-Israel agitators blocked the entrance to a synagogue, sending fists flying in the riot police response. Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt is live in Los Angeles with the latest. Hello, Jonathan.
Good morning. Extraordinary scenes, pitched battles being fought between pro-Palestinian protesters who targeted a synagogue and members of that synagogue and of the Jewish community that surrounds it.
What was it? Wait. So they were, wow, pro-Palestinian protesters are targeting a synagogue. That's a Jewish place of worship. That sounds really anti-Semitic. Why were they doing that? Is it because they are, in the words of Joseph Robinette Biden, motivated by an ancient form of Jew hatred? Is that what it was? I wonder, what could it be? I wonder, what was the reason? I mean, oh God, these anti-Semites,
This all taking place in the heart of Los Angeles, in the middle of one of the city's largest Jewish communities. About 100 pro-Palestinian protesters descended on the area Sunday morning, and almost immediately violence broke out as those protesters tried to block the entrance to the Adass Torah synagogue. Jewish counter-protesters tried to push them back, and for some time, violent fights.
Okay, 6-minute coverage total. 1 minute and 14 seconds in, they still are just saying like, oh, these guys just hate Jews. That's it. Please look no further into the situation other than these guys just hate Jews.
Broke out between the two sides.
When they're screaming globalize the Intifada, they're screaming kill Jews for being Jews. And, you know, no, not going to let that happen.
Riot police intervened to try to keep the two groups apart and clear the pro-Palestinian protesters from the Jewish neighborhood. But tensions remained high for several hours. And at one point, at least 8 officers with weapons drawn ordered...
Guys, spoiler alert, okay? Please stop trying to link me shit about what the actual story is. I know what the story is. Do you think I don't know what's going on? It's happening in my fucking backyard, okay? I know exactly what happened. Stop spoiling it.
Ordered 2 pro-Palestinian
I'm doing something here.
Protesters from their car, clearly concerned the vehicle itself could be used as a weapon. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass condemned the protesters, saying, quote, today's violence in the...
Suck my dick, every single person involved in this. Fuck the police. Fuck Karen Bass. Fuck that piece of shit. Fuck all of those pieces of shit that were fucking doing this event at the synagogue, okay? Now, I wanted you to get a better understanding of what the fuck is happening here. You got the fucking riot police out there. Wow, they are really doing a pack watch on these anti-Semites, it seems. So what actually happened? Why was there a protest outside of the synagogue? Is it because they're like, we don't like Jews and we don't want them to fucking go to their place of worship? Is that what was going on? Is that what was happening there? Or was a similar story that has happened in fucking Long Island a million times over, by the way, and also in New Jersey, by the way, happening at this Los Angeles synagogue? It's the second thing. It's not that they were like, oh yeah, you can't go into the synagogue. We hate you. You're Jewish. It was, here's Ben Lorber. The synagogue was hosting an organization that sells Israeli real estate and includes properties in illegal settlements. Protesters were there because of that organization. Leaving this out is crucial context and akin to misinformation, says Ben Lorber. Because that's what was going on. There it is. There it fucking is. I fucking hate this shit so goddamn much. Everyone is such a fucking monstrous piece of shit, dude. Holy fuck. selling stolen land at a synagogue, says Matt Lech, and then crying that people are hating you for your religion is one of the most simultaneously cynical and insane gambits I've ever seen. The notion, like the insanity, the fucking absolute, unrestricted, unfiltered insanity of being like, you don't understand. The Jews epigenetically have to sell real estate on stolen land. This is a part of our religion. Is the most anti-Semitic shit crafted in the motherfucking halls in the basements of 4chan. Okay? What are you doing? What are you saying? You don't understand, guys. You don't get it. We have to sell stolen land. It is a part of my religious upbringing and development, is what Nazis say about Jewish people. Why are Zionists literally saying Nazi shit about themselves? Pro-Palestinian activists held a protest Sunday outside a synagogue in the heart of Pico Robertson, an Orthodox Jewish enclave in Los Angeles, where Israeli real estate companies were promoting their properties to potential American buyers. I assume I'm blocked by Hen Mazig. Creating an environment that's so hateful that American Jews are considering moving to Israel during wartime, then violently protesting an event about it, then gaslighting Jews when we call out the violence is one of the most simultaneously cynical and hateful gambits I've ever seen. The West Bank is Israel now, huh? Says Matt Lech, responding to Hen. And also, you fucking wish Israelis are fleeing. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, Israelis are fleeing. Israelis are fleeing Israel, dumb fuck. The fuck are we talking about? Oh yeah, no, totally, dude. American Jews are just moving to Israel because they're so afraid of anti-Semitism happening in the US is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Please watch this video, the clips they showed without them being edited. Zionists in LA try to lynch protests against their fire sale of stolen land while the LAPD watches, and the media and politicians paint the protesters aggressors and the protests as anti-Semitism. This guy seems suspicious. Israel has colonized America. Okay, calm the fuck down. I don't know if this is some fucking Nazi shit, but it doesn't matter. I want to see the fucking full context. Wow. 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 Look at that. Look at the anti-Semitism happening here. Dude, I'm sorry. You cannot be in the direction of my kick. I'm a Zionist, a protected class in America. If you are in the vicinity of an area that I want to kick, you just, you know, you have to get kicked. Yeah, you got fucking rabid cultists over here surrounding a motherfucking Range Rover, and the LAPD is arresting the owners of the Range Rover. Nice, dude. Yeah, with the fucking Messiah flags too. The Messiah. This is so horrifying. It must be placed within the context. These are the same fascists who threw explosives at UCLA students and jumped student reporters returned to their cars 2 months ago. Only one arrest from that night, none from yesterday, as far as I know. Here's what happened. Nice chant, by the way. You know. Just a bunch of fucking cool dudes, man. Just a bunch of normal dudes, bunch of cool guys. What are the Messiah flags about? Some sects of Orthodox Jews, or a lot of Orthodox Jews, I think maybe not all of them, but like some are messianic. Some believe that the Messiah is going to come back, or is back, and that, you know, Israel is their holy land and the Messiah has come back, and, you know, that's it. It's just like a dude from New York who actually died, but he's actually secretly not dead. He's alive. I mean, there's many different sects. I don't know how to fucking, I don't know. A lot of them believe that Lubavitcher Rebbe was the Messiah. It represents a cult that believes the rabbi that died in the 1990s is actually still alive and will come. Hold on. Anyway, let's go back to this.
Pico Robertson neighborhood was abhorrent, and blocking access to a place of worship is unacceptable. I want to be clear that Los Angeles will not be a harbor for anti-Semitism and violence. Those responsible for either will be found and held accountable. Now, Mike, I spoke to Rabbi Chaim Mentz of the nearby Chabad of Bel Air as the violence was playing out yesterday. He told me he found it reminiscent of the Nazi youth on the streets of Germany in the 1930s, and he said, who would ever have thought we would see this on the streets of American cities? Mike?
Deeply disturbing visuals. Jonathan Hunt, thanks very much.
Sure.
For more on this, let's bring in Fox News contributor Mark Thiessen. Mark, anti-Semitic violence attacks like this one may not make headline news every single day, but they are certainly happening across America, across Europe, certainly reaching to all corners of the globe. We may have heard over the weekend synagogue goers were murdered in broad daylight in Russia. I don't know. I'm kind of out of questions on this topic, to be frank, because it doesn't seem to ever abate. It seems to be getting worse systemically since October 7th.
You're 100% right. And look, this is being presented by many in the media as a clash between two different sides of protest.
No, it's not. Everyone is fucking lying in the same exact way that Fox News is. You can't even fucking up the ante in comparison to Karen Bass, because Karen Bass, as a liberal Democrat, is already lying in the same exact way. It is fucking insane. Most of the violence is still, and always, by the way, always is coming from the Zionist crowd, because they understandably feel like they can get away with it. Even the footage that they're showing of people being beaten down, by the way, those aren't Jewish synagogue attendees. The people being beaten down are literally pro-Palestinian demonstrators. That's what's crazy about it. Thank you to the Serfs for rating. Hope you had a good stream, the Serfs. Messies are just evangelical Christians. Oh, Messianic Jews are evangelical Christians. Sorry. The Messiah is the ultra-Orthodox. That flag is for the ultra-Orthodox sect that believe the Messiah is alive, though. Am I wrong? Messianic Jews. Anyway, there's nothing more insane to me than conducting these illegal affairs. Conducting these fucking illegal affairs in a motherfucking synagogue as a mechanism for shelter in the most cynical way possible, to shelter yourself from potential criticism. Yeah, it's a Chabadnik flag. Anyway, why are we watching this busted ass coverage? Because it's good for you to understand where the fuck these rabid psychos come from when people go, oh, did you hear about the anti-Semitic attacks on a synagogue? And once enough time has passed, this is considered an anti-Semitic attack. That's it. Everybody covers it as an anti-Semitic attack, and everybody remembers it as an anti-Semitic attack. Hey, Hasan, your videos and talking points on the situation helped me enlighten my girlfriend who's Jewish to the atrocities going on in Gaza. Just wanted to share that you're changing people's minds daily. No, they believed the Lubavitcher was the Messiah and that he will come back. It was more common when he died in 94, and many believed he would come back in a few days or weeks. I don't know how widespread it is. Also, the term ultra-Orthodox is considered offensive because it makes them sound unreasonable. They prefer to be called Haredim. Some religious Zionist Jews are monarchist Messianic Jews who literally want to rebuild a temple in Jerusalem as a practical project, and in some cases that there will be a king descendant from the genetic line of King David to rule Israel. There's many sects depending on the specific demographics. Some like Chabadniks think Rebbe Schneerson was/is the Messiah. Some don't, but yes, they're all very insane. Exactly. That's why I was like that's why it's complicated to fucking explain it. Yes, it's insane. It's just a cult, okay? It is. It's just cultish shit. And it doesn't, like, the dynamic doesn't change when it is a Jewish cult, okay? It's still a fucking cult. It's like when you're mainlining fundamentalism. It's like seeing those fucking British Salafist podcasters talk about, like, women breathing the free man's air is actually fucked up. Like, is no different than, like, shit that you see on Memory TV. It's fundamentalist. It's also ridiculous. It's cultish.
It's not a clash between protesters. A pro-Hamas mob targeted a synagogue. They didn't protest in front of the Israeli embassy. We keep hearing, you know, they're not anti-Jew, they're anti-Israel. They didn't choose the Israeli embassy or the Israeli consulate in Los Angeles. They chose a synagogue, and they surrounded. They didn't just protest. They shouted anti-Semitic chants. They beat Jewish protesters. Imagine if this had been done to a black church in Los Angeles. If a bunch of white supremacists had surrounded a black church, started attacking black churchgoers, beating them, using pepper spray against them, do you think it wouldn't be front page news in every newspaper in America? Do you not think the President of the United States would have issued a statement by now? But because it happens to Jews, it's okay. It just we just let it go by. Another bad day for the Jews in America.
I want to ask you about this, too. New York Congressman Jamal Bowman over the weekend, I don't know, spoke out, yelled out against Israel, the Biden administration's Israel policy. He ranted and raved against AIPAC. Take a listen to some of what he said.
You're going to show AIPAC the power of the mother South Bronx. We are not going to stand silent while U.S. tax dollars kills babies and women and children. My opponent supports genocide. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
There are plenty of Jews, Mark, as you well know, here in Washington, in his district in New York, who are critical of AIPAC. But this is something else. I don't know what this is.
Well, also,
why?
Can you imagine?
Why is it something else? Why is it something else? Is it because it's a black man saying it? Is it because he's being loud? Is that what it is? It scares you? Why is it something else?
Imagine if a sitting congressman stood up on a rally and said, we're going to show the effing NAACP the power of this district. What the outrage would be? And this is the problem, is that
the NAACP does not represent the interests of a foreign organization, you fucking idiot. Black people in America are American citizens living in America. The NAACP is an advocacy group for black people in America. It's not like representing the interests of Liberia or something. It's not like a Liberian lobby. What a comparison. Also, the hilarious part about this is that, like, you hate the NAACP. And I'm certain that many of you wouldn't have, like, very real criticisms if some of your fucking most rabid followers surrounded a fucking black church and were protesting them for, I guess, being black. There is no equivalency here anyway. He's 2 on 2 for false equivalencies. Ridiculous. America first, by the way. Republicans are so funny, dude. They love America so much. America first, which is why we have to preserve the feelings of a foreign lobbying organization. Comparing the NAACP to the AIPAC is fucking nasty work.
The Democratic Party has not policed its movement and has allowed anti-Semitism to fester in the halls of Congress. It's Jamal Bowman. It's the rest of the squad. You know, if somebody had done what he did and targeted black people, they would be kicked off of their committees. They would be.
They're not targeting Jews, dumb fuck. No matter how hard you try to make this fucking narrative stick. I mean, he knows that they're not targeting Jews. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's a Fox News commentator. It's so funny because this commentary is akin to like people doing the why can't white people say it narrative. It's just like, oh, well, like they get to do it. I've decided that they're targeting Jews. Why can't we be fucking racist? While being racist, mind you.
Shunned by the Democratic caucus when Representative Steve King back in 2019 said, I don't understand what's the problem with white supremacy and why and all the.
Yeah, you love Steve King. You're Fox News. You defended him. What are you talking about? Why would he voluntarily invoke Steve King, a person that Fox News repeatedly defended? There you go.
The rest of it, he was kicked off of all of his committees by the Republicans in Congress. Why haven't the Democratic leadership in Congress done the same to Jamal Bowman for this? Why haven't they done that with Ilhan Omar? Why haven't they done that with the rest of the squad? They tolerate anti-Semitism in their ranks, and then they're surprised when an anti-Semitic mob surrounds a synagogue in Los Angeles and beats Jews.
He almost said New Jersey. Because he literally knows that that shit happens all the time in New Jersey where they use the synagogues for fucking selling stolen land. Casually ignoring Bernie Sanders? Yeah, because he's Jewish and that fucking harms the narrative that like these guys are rabid anti-Semites.
There's a connection between these two things.
Yeah, there absolutely is. Mark, got to leave it there. Thanks for joining us on this sort of doozy of a topic.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
As